Two-time.
This boy's about to go down on me.
You boys ready to get fucked again?
You're looking at the 2025 champ.
Let's not lose. The boy's lots more exposed than Andrew's scrotum.
Just hoping to do good enough to not be last. Let's go.
I'm ready to get hurt again.
Hopefully it's only up from here.
Here we go again.
What is going on, Best Night Ever League? This is Andrew and Zach here for your Week 15 recap for the Best Night Ever League. And we had some crazy matchups. We had some good morning games, and then we also had some awful injuries, which I will get to. As it currently stands, I ended up defeating Zach 288.14 to 252. Michael ended up getting a 20-point victory over Thomas. And if we scroll down here to the toilet bowl, Ham got the slight win over Gregor. I was sweating that game, watching it toward the end. There was a chance there could have been a lot of garbage time points for Gregor with Waddle and the Steelers defense, whether it was a sack or just like a catch. I was waiting to see if it would happen, and it ended up not happening. Time ran out. And then, of course, the other game that came down to the wire off of the DK Metcalf touchdown was Bobby winning over Connor 230 to 228. Close matchups in the losers bracket. So Connor and Greg are headed to the toilet bowl, and Michael and I are headed to the championship. Everyone else is kind of playing out for their draft odds position, but we'll kind of go through everyone else's games. So to start out, let's go to this game right here. The losers bracket game of Bobby and Connor. And Zach is in New Zealand, and he'll be coming in and out. And I'll ask Zach on things that he wants to talk about or has thoughts on. Anyway, going down Bobby's win over Connor. Week 15 helped him out. Drake May getting him 19.5. Dak didn't have that good of a game, but James Cook, oh man, boy, did he have a game against New England. 33 points is absolutely insane. Javonte Williams at 15. And then going down the list, you didn't really have anyone else. Oh, you had Dallas Cowboys kicker getting you, Bernard getting you 14.6. So, Bobby, what a week you had. You got the victory over Connor. Zach, do you have any thoughts on this matchup?
Andrew looks like the type of guy who sits when he goes pee.
Perfect. I agree tenfold with you, Zach. Let's go into Connor's team. Jalen Hurts got 22.9. He finally had a good game after a couple lackluster performances. Lamar just hasn't been Lamar since the injury, and I still think he's injured. Kyren Williams got you 21. Jameson Williams, who I did try and trade for with Connor, he's been popping off for the Lions, who kind of have a pretty good schedule down the stretch. Isaiah Likely getting you 0 points is absolutely crazy. Every fantasy football like expert on whether it was TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, whatever, was telling everybody to grab Isaiah Likely. Turns out he got 0, which is unfortunate. You're kicking your defense, got 17-9 respectfully. Bobby got the win over Connor there. Unfortunately, Connor heads to the losers bracket to face Gregor, and I'll go into that matchup right here. Again, another close matchup. I'm sure Cam is enjoying the Josh Allen play as of late. He scored 24.5 for him, and Shogun you 18, which is absolutely insane. He actually had a great week against Carolina. Henderson, oh man, Henderson just is absolutely insane. When he actually gets the volume, he's going to be really, really good. Only had 14 carries, but basically just under 150 yards and 2 touchdowns and 32 points. Wow. And then Jamar Chase having a Jamar Chase type game. And and then the defense and kicker combined for just under 30, and that propelled you to victory. Zach, do you have anything you want to add to Cam's team here and what your thoughts are?
Andrew looks like the type of guy who claps when the plan lands.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Let's go to Gregor's team. Matthew Stafford, yeah, both your quarterbacks combined for like 28, 27 points, or sorry, 47 to 48 points. Brock Purdy had a great game, and Matthew Stafford's been Matthew Stafford all year. Bijan having a Bijan game with 24.5. And then scoring down your wide receivers didn't help you out that much, but Travis Etienne was having a bonkers game, catching 3 touchdown passes from Trevor Lawrence, which we'll get to in a second. And then your kick and your defense combined for 15. So unfortunately, Gregor, you fall to Cam. Cam, you are safe along with Bobby, Jacob, and who am I missing? Bobby, Jacob, who else is it? And Oscar. But sadly, Gregor, you play Connor in the toilet bowl matchup. Some people call it the Shard Bowl. I will continue to call it the toilet bowl. Heading into our winners bracket matchups, Michael edged Thomas here by 20 points. Jackson Dart had a pretty good game. And Jordan Love just didn't have that good of a game. But then it's going down. Your running backs did pretty good, 16 and 15 respectfully. Courtland Sutton caught a touchdown pass against Green Bay. And then George Kittle, man, he came alive, 8 receptions, 88 yards and a touchdown. That's probably the best you're going to get out of a tight end this year because that position, unless you have McBride or Bowers, is kind of screwy. CeeDee Lamb literally had a CeeDee Lamb game. And then your kicker and your defense combined for 17. You got 277 points. And sadly, Thomas fails to reach the championship matchup. His team kind of underperformed. Like Herbert and Darnold combining for 20 is just not what they've done all year. Herbert's dealing with his, offensive lineman issues and his broken hand, so that didn't help out that much either. Sam Darnold, again, he's kind of a hit or miss. He's either on it or he plays a tough defense and he just can't get into the end zone. Your running backs also, man, after having great weeks, Bucky Irving 7.6 and Jahmyr Gibbs 7.8, that never happens. I think Michael kind of lucked out here with having, the core of Thomas's team having an underperforming week against pretty juicy matchups. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs against the Rams, you would think would go bonkers, but Lions were just passing the ball the whole game, and he didn't really get as many volume carries as he could. Jacoby Myers had a good game, but didn't find the end zone, so only got 9.6. Rasheed Rice, after Patty Mahomes' injury, might be rough down the stretch. And like I said, having Trey McBride helps you, it almost propelled you. You got 34.4 out of him. And then you got 24 out of this Seattle kicker, Jason Myers, who's been awesome all year. Zach, do you have anything you want to say to Michael or Bobby about this matchup? And more often than not, I will agree with whatever you're about to say.
Andrew's better off every year just auto drafting.
Once again, I agree with what you say. And with what you said, yeah, I agree. Michael gets the victory. This sends Michael to the championship game where he will face off against me. I played Zach. It wasn't looking too good after week 14, but I had massive performances out of my quarterbacks. Jared Goff had 28.5, and Trevor frickin' Sylvia got 47.3 points. I'm speechless after that performance by Trevor Lawrence. My running backs combined for just under 30. Nico Collins got a couple touchdown passes. Tyler Warren's a little shaky without Daniel Jones and Philip Rivers as his quarterbacks. We'll see how that goes. And then Gentie's offensive line and coaches are just absolutely awful, and they're bringing him down with him. So he only got 6. And then Chicago's defense got 18, and I ended up with 288 points, which got me the win over Zach. Zach's been getting a lot of garbage time points in this matchup, which it was kind of frustrating to watch. Zach, would you agree that you had some garbage time points?
Andrew looks like the type of guy who, when he goes to the doctor, they ask, when can we schedule your mammogram and pap smear next?
Yeah, I thought you had some as well. Jacoby Brissett was just absolutely insane the last 2 weeks. 19 this week. Josh Jacobs had that long run against Denver, which kind of propelled him, and then he had that receiving touchdown, which was good. So that was 22 out of him. Your wide receivers kind of underperformed, getting to 20 for 20. Dalton Schultz had a pretty decent game at 17.6, and then the rest of your team had an irrelevant matchup. So unfortunately, I get the victory, kind of propelled by Trevor Lawrence. I mean, if you just take away Trevor Lawrence's 47 points and get him to his projection, the difference of that is 32 points, and I only won by 36 points. So, yeah, Trevor Lawrence propelled me to victory, which was absolutely insane. Not going to speak of Oscar and Jacob's teams. I do know that they had a couple players that did pop off that were in pretty much that they just had in the matchup of their own. They didn't really matter, but they did have players go off. I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about Kyle Pitts' come out game. Puka Nakua had a crazy, crazy game. Just absolutely insane. Let me actually see if I can view Oscar's team or Jacob's team really quickly. Yeah. So Bo Nix getting you 32. Alphonse St. Brown getting you 39, and Kyle Pitts getting you 43. Jacob had a great week. It's just unfortunate it was kind of useless. And then Oscar's team, who also went off. Sorry. Caleb Williams had 18. Chris Olave had a good game. Smith and Jigba was under projection, but still had a good game. He had 26 out of Puka. I got 10 from Kelsey. So, yeah, pretty decent week. Shador didn't do you much to either, which is kind of a bummer. Anyway, yeah. So, that is your week 15 recap, with just those matchups. Zach, do you have anything to add to how you saw week 15?
Andrew looks like the type of guy who says, bro, trust me, before giving terrible fantasy football advice.
I agree with that. I agree with that too. So now we're going to go into the projections to end the year. Let's go to week 16. So pretty much the only important matchups are Gregor and Connor and me and Michael. And right now, projection wise, Gregor is a 30, almost a 40-point favorite right now over Connor. Connor's quarterbacks still have high projections, but Gregor's team just down the list. Um, Man, it also might be doing bad projections for week 17 as well. So maybe not to look too much into that. But anyway, there's a lot of good matchups here. Josh Allen plays the Browns. We'll see how that goes. Drake Mays at Baltimore. Um, Sorry, I'm in the wrong game. Oh my gosh, that's how embarrassing. Um, Jalen Hurts is at Washington and Lamar is at New England. Just gave up 25 to the Josh Allen, so we'll see how that goes. Um, Bijan's playing Arizona. Derrick Henry's playing the Patriots, so we'll see that. Kyron Williams plays Thursday night against Seattle. That's not the best matchup. Just going down the list. I mean, Blake Corum might be a must start if Devontae Adams since Devontae Adams is hurt. Darren Waller, he had that great game last week against the Steelers, so he's obviously his ad for Connor. Brock Bowers can just go off at any point, and ETN had that monster week last week. It kind of looks like Gregor's going to win this one, but anything can happen. We'll see how it goes. And then going to my matchup. Before I do that, Zach, do you have anything to say about Connor and Gregor's matchup?
This guy, Andrew, he's the Cleveland Browns guy of our league.
Yeah, well, once again, I agree tenfold. Yeah, so we'll go into this matchup really quick. Um, in your championship, Michael is slightly favored over me by a total of 7 points, which in the grand scheme of things is not that much. A lot of crazy matchups favor Michael this week. I mean, Jackson Dart has a rough matchup against Minnesota. I know their defense is okay, but that should be fine. Jordan Love always does good against the Bears. Devon Achane plays Cincinnati. That's a good matchup. Gainwell against Detroit. He's always on those checkdowns. AJ Brown, Washington, Cortland Sutton, Jacksonville. Yeah, we shall see what happens. And then Houston has a great matchup and is projected to have 13 points against the Raiders. That's absolutely crazy. And then me, Jared Goff has a decent matchup. Trevor Lawrence doesn't have the best matchup against Denver at Denver. McCaffrey and Chase Brown have decent matchups. My wide receivers have pretty good matchups. Tyler Warren, we'll see how Philip Rivers gets to him. Aston Jetty plays Houston, not the best spot. And then I have the Bills defense against Cleveland. It's going to be a shootout. I was talking with Michael earlier today, and he is very confident. However, I will point out that he is confident because I almost likely would be without one of my best players, Devontae Adams. So I know some people around the league are saying that if Michael wins this, there's going to be a huge asterisk next to it. Zach, would you agree?
Congrats on making it to the championship this year, Andrew. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut sometimes.
Yeah. So unfortunately, when I told him that, like, how do you feel about Devontae Adams being hurt? And he said he loves it. I mean, cheering for injuries, I mean, that's just a scumbag move. I mean, you never want to cheer for injuries. You want to play the best team at their best. But unfortunately, it's not that way for Michael. He's just a different person and, very, very scumbagish to root for injuries. And he'll take the asterisks if I lose without my one of my best players. So as a victory. So if he does end up winning, we'll give him that asterisk. So yeah, it'll be unfortunate without Devontae Adams. We'll see how my lineup fares without him. Hopefully, he'll come back next week. Zach, do you have anything to add about the championship matchup?
Congrats to Andrew and Michael for making it to the championship. Really excited to see how this all unfolds. If Michael gets his first championship or if Andrew gets his second championship. And then good luck to Connor and Gregor. Andrew and I know how it feels to be in the Shard Bowl and how stressful it can be. So good luck to those guys as well.
Yeah, so this is Andrew and Zach signing off. Congratulations again to myself and Michael for making it to the championship, and unfortunately for Gregor and Connor, as someone who has played in that game 5 times. In fact, wait, do I have the trophy sitting around? I do. As someone who has had the luxury of having this, let's count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. As someone who's had this 5 times, all I can say is I can't wait for it to get on my hands, and I wish the best for both of you as you enter this unfortunate journey. Me and Zach are signing off right now. Hopefully you enjoyed the recap.